I know you're the middleman. Who's above you? No, they'll kill me. I'll torture you, then kill you. Welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? I want to extend a sweet honey jar welcome to our recurring guest, our show's beekeeper, Sacklunch.
And I always get excited to get to part 2, so I'm ready for this.
As am I. Bzz, bzz, biatch.
Repeat after me. I will never steal from the weak, the vulnerable again. There's gonna be a fire.
Okay, thanks.
This is a Beekeeper, a special program outside the chain of command.
When the system is corrupt, I correct it. He's stolen millions from people who've worked hard all their lives.
We have laws for these things.
Until they fail, then you have me.
The Beekeeper, rated R, only in theaters January 12th.
The Beekeeper. What a bizarre premise. And I love it so much.
Yeah, I heard, can you believe I'm going to say this and just let the listeners down right after? But I heard one of the most unique facts about bees a couple of weeks ago. And I've been trying to find it because it was like a YouTube short or something about why or how the honeycomb ends up being in the pentagon shape.
The hexagon.
Or hexagon.
I guess Pentagon.
Yes.
Pentagon is the same shape, right?
Is it?
I don't know. Listen, I didn't do good with my isosceles, triangles, and geometry, okay? But I know it's a hexagon. But Pentagon seems good too.
Yeah, I'm with it. But for the listener, since I've got to let you down, go do your own research and find out why the shape ends up as a hexagon, and you're going to be amazed.
Listen, that's just the way the bees want it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's get it. That brings us to a perfect segue to popcorn trivia.
Let me tell you something, Pandeo.
I got a couple of good ones here for you.
Okay.
The character Lazarus is dressed in the colors of a wasp. Wasps are bees' natural enemy, as shown in the beginning of the movie. I mean, the bee references are silly, but at the same time, it's like I kind of like that. It fits in a weird, bizarre way.
I wish that I would. I mean, I obviously you hear all the references, but I bet you that there was a lot more Easter egg stuff, like you just mentioned that if you watched it again, which I doubt I ever will, but if you watched it again, you would be like, oh my gosh, that's B. There's B. Oh, that's B. Oh, that's super B. So that's cool.
I agree. I didn't pick up on that weird guy at the end's clothes. I mean, I knew
I didn't either.
It was weird that he was all yellow and black, but I didn't pick up on that at all.
Did you feel like that character fit in this movie?
I have that in Popcorn Puzzles if you want to save it.
I want to save it.
Okay. A couple other trivia points. Many, but not all of Anzalone's lines are quotes from other movies. The most notable is when he is arrested and he shouts, "I was just thrown through a plate glass window," which is what Axel Foley says in Beverly Hills Cop 1, 1984.
Yeah. I noticed.
I did too. Yeah, that was kind of those nods are really fun to me.
I love a good homage.
All right, here's some quotes from the director. In the opening, Jason's pulling out the comb, like the honeycomb, not his, I mean, me and Jason have the same hairstyle, so he doesn't need a hair comb, but the honeycomb.
Right.
And he's smoking the hive and doing all the processes. That's real. The bees are real. He learned how to do all of that stuff. It's interesting because we see him as this rough punch-up guy, and yet he got the zen of it. He really embraced the zen of beekeeping. And I looked into this further, and Statham started beekeeping in 2020 during the pandemic, and he actually pitched the idea to Miramax.
Wow. Do you think Tom Cruise knows how to beekeep?
I bet he knows a lot about bees. More than
I bet he does.
More than we
More
would.
than Statham.
More than Statham, yeah. And listen, I would take a Tom Cruise Beekeeper movie too.
Oof. Like maybe we get a sequel with the goat. Statham and the goat? Why not?
You're welcome, studios. We just keep giving them away here on the show.
Just printing them.
Yeah. If you want to know what you need to be doing, let's keep listening and just keep writing them down. And
listen to the priest.
Throw some money my way if you could.
If you don't mind.
All right. The director goes on to say Jason did not get stung. I got stung a bunch of times because I was operating the camera, getting all these tight shots of the bees, the hero bee shots, and I was wearing black socks. Listen to this. I learned that bees will attack black cloth because they think that it's a bear.
What?
Huh?
That's interesting. Okay.
So if you want to read more about that article, it's on slashfilm.com. It was a very interesting article from the director.
Have you ever been stung by a bee?
I have once in my life on the thumb, right on the knuckle.
Oof.
And it hurt like a mother trucker, dude.
Yeah.
I still remember it to this day. I'm like touching my thumb in the exact spot right now. And I'm like, oh man, that hurt that hurt.
I will say, I know that there's some sort of invasive wasp that recently was introduced into the U.S., but as the longtime listeners know, I live in Brazil, and the size of some of the bees out here are fucking unsettling.
I don't want to see any pictures. If you could keep them out of the feed.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm literally in the process on Google trying to find the best picture to send you while we're doing this pod.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. At least do it during the day.
Some of them they're like the size of a golf ball.
I don't. Okay, so you don't believe that this movie made the money that it made? I don't believe that there's a bee the size of a golf ball, bro.
Challenge accepted.
Perfect. That's all the trivia I have. Do you want to move into beefs, puzzles, and redemption?
Let's do it.
All right. Popcorn beefs.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
I only have one beef, and that's probably not surprising to you. I wouldn't say this is a bargain basement John Wick, but I'm not saying it isn't. And my beef is kind of like a double-edged beef. Double-sided beef, because I kind of don't care. I kind of like that it is a bargain. It's not a bargain basement John Wick, but I kind of like that it is.
I don't like putting this in the class of John Wick, man. I just don't think you can do that.
I'm going to tell you why in my rating. Okay, I'm going to save it for the end. Why I think the way I do about John Wick in this movie. I just can't put it. It's more of a positive redemption / rating comment than it is a beef. My beef is they kind of ripped it off, but at the same time, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
What's your beefs? I bet you have more than I do.
Look, I know what this movie is, and I enjoyed it for what it was. So, like, if you think that I'm going to give it a small bucket, you're crazy, because I'm not going to. What I would say is, as I watch this, what my biggest beef is, and I made reference to this last week, it feels like Statham is today's Steven Seagal, and Statham deserves better than that.
Yeah, I was just about to say I don't 100% agree, because Seagal is, I know he's listening as well. You got to slim down, dude. And no one's believing you touching a guy in the shoulder and he flips around and falls on the mat. You're staging all this stuff, Steven.
Correct.
You're not,
and it's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, I don't even want Statham in that same realm. So stop talking about him as being Seagal.
Yeah, but if you're going to bring Wick and this movie into the same conversation, But again, my frustration is that when you produce this type of movie, it feels like there's potential that he really could go the way of Seagal. And this is an interventional beef. Like I'm trying to stage an intervention to say Statham is not Seagal, and we need to help support him back into roles such as the Italian Job. Like, I think at some point it's okay for him to be outside of the Fast and the Furious, a supporting actor with a much smaller role. I'd like to see that a little bit more, I think.
No, I disagree. He was great in Hobbs and Shaw. He's great in the Fast and Furious.
Never saw it.
Your loss. The Transporter series, awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm not saying that he should be relegated only to a supporting actor. What I'm saying is he should take more roles as a supporting actor that are parts of like really awesome movies like The Italian Job, because then when he comes back in as the main character, it just hits different for me. So that's my only beat.
Yeah, but you got him in The Meg. Both films are sick. But again,
never saw them.
Getting a little frustrated. I mean, you need to see The Meg and The Meg 2, The Trench. Amazing films. But again, they know what they are. Okay.
Okay.
But
he's like Sharknado knows what it is.
I would say this is an Oscar-worthy performance compared to the Sharknado. This is way better than Sharknado.
Of course it is.
And he's got the Expendables, Transporter, Death Race. Well, I mean, dude, give me a break. He's awesome.
I know, but you can't bring up the Expendables when I'm sitting here saying he needs to play roles similar to the Expendables, Italian Job. Like, he doesn't always have to be the main character.
Yeah, it might. If I'm listening to you, it might be more of less is more with Jason. And when he pops in, it's like, oh, dang, he's got 4 scenes and he just crushes it, and then that's it.
Right, because when you see a movie like this, it's like, God, maybe his range really is to look left.
He's like Ken on Barbie.
Yeah.
He just has a couple of tools, and that's all we want. But that's fine. That's fine. That's all I want.
But again, make no bones about it. Like, he's one of the greatest action stars to ever live.
I don't know about that. He's in the top 10. Top 10.
I was going to put him in the top 10. I was going to put him more in the top 40-ish. I wasn't going to put him in the top 10. Jeez, dude.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing here? What is going on?
You would put Statham in the top 10?
Yeah, number 10.
Of all time?
Probably. I'm looking at his IMDb page. It's pretty sick.
Oh.
I mean, it's banger after banger of those type of movies. That's what he's done his whole life.
I understand that, but I mean, I'll just pull 3 out right off the bat. Cruise, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Like, all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, hold on. Yeah, he's getting pushed out of the top 10 super fast.
All right, let's do this if we can. This discussion needs a little more thought from both of us. I would like in our next film, regardless if it's an action film or not, to have a top 10, or you can go, sounds like you want to go to 40 of action stars of all time. Okay? And let's compare. Maybe here, this is what we'll do. We'll use that as a, I don't know, what do you call it? A teaser or a intro to our should you watch this retrospective. We'll do our top 10, top 20, top 30 or 40 action stars. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Any more beefs before we get into puzzles?
I don't think there's really that much to beef with on this.
Okay. Even though we've been beefing the whole time. I get it. Okay.
Well, you and I will beef. Yeah, I just don't have. I have beefs with you.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%. Am I becoming the nemesis? Should you watch this?
You are. Yeah. You're my foil. That's fine. But it forces me to stretch and be better. And that's what we want.
Yeah.
We always want on the show is to be better.
Agreed.
Popcorn puzzles.
A sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what?
What?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to keep referencing John Wick, even though you vehemently disagree with me. My puzzle is, who are the beekeepers? And I kind of don't even care. Almost the same way I don't really... We got more of who the Continental is and what these tokens are worth and all that rich backstory and story building for John Wick we got in the second, third, and fourth film. We didn't get it in the first one. And I kind of like that we don't know a lot about this organization. There's going to be a sequel, I guarantee it. And we're going to see a little bit more. The curtain's going to be pulled and we'll get to see a little bit more of the beekeepers. And I'm down.
I'm all the way in on that. Well, but with a caveat, I need it to be cast properly.
And you don't think this film had a great cast?
No.
I mean, there was, to some of the points of last week's reviews, there were some cardboard performances, but I don't care.
But I'm saying I'm in for it. Like I'm good with some of the cast from this one. Yeah.
I mean, if they only had 34 million / 40 million.
Right.
And this next one, if what I'm saying is true, they made 152 million, they're going to make a sequel and they'll probably get a little bit more budget, which usually equates to better effects, better action pieces, and more higher quality actors.
Can I just tell you what I love about that concept and what I loved about this one? Bodies hitting the floor, Doc. Don't matter to the beekeepers, bro. Like they had a line in here that I love. What's the body count so far? They know when the beekeepers come, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I hope this is like Rambo, it should be on the pantheon of the best action movies of all time. But the body count escalates. Stallone knows what he's doing. I need more of that in Beekeeper. Give me some more bodies and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm in on it.
Okay. Fair enough. At least we can agree on something. Thank you. My other puzzle is we can't get some more one-liners of like buzz off, biatch, or stick around or something. Like give me more bee puns. I need more of them.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough.
That must have stung. Yeah.
Hey, does that sting?
Yeah.
Are your 4 fingers stinging right now?
You won't be pollinating any more flowers as he chops off a dick. Damn it.
Yeah, give me more of those, please. That's why I'm peppering him in this show, because I want to show the writers, listen, there are more. This is a gold mine, a honey gold mine.
Yeah, it really is. And you've brought a lot of puns in. Like last week, you were Pun City, and I was digging it.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy. It's so easy. Yeah. Just give me more of those. And then my last puzzle was, what's up with that guy at the end? We talked about how he has yellow and black wardrobe costume, and then his weird chops, facial hair, and his Kiwi accent. It was so weird, but at the same time, I'm like, I love this weird dude.
Okay, I asked you, does he feel misplaced? And I want to say yes, but at the same time, like I wanted more background on him. I wanted them to build a little more beef between the two of them. Like maybe he was a beekeeper reject would have been cool.
No, he'd said he had killed a beekeeper once, and that's when he pulled up his pant leg and said, I lost my leg to a beekeeper.
Right, but I'm saying, like, I wanted there to be a more personal nastiness between the kind of both.
Yeah.
So, between Statham and him, like, I wanted that.
To me, he's out of place, but so is the whole movie.
Correct.
So it works to me, but is also a puzzle. So I don't want to solve that puzzle, is what I'm saying.
The only part of that puzzle that I wish would be solved is maybe just a little more of him. I don't know.
I thought he had a great death scene. I thought they had a great fight scene. I thought him getting stabbed in the neck was sick.
Yeah.
He gave up a great fight. I liked it. I like it being like the boss fight at the end. It was good.
I'm with it.
Do you have any puzzles?
No.
Right.
No. Well, okay. Sorry. One, I know you do this. Almost the listeners know that I love to do this. So I say no, and then I immediately come back with one.
No, but I have two.
Yeah, exactly. Why was he renting the garage from this lady? Did I miss that?
Yes. Do I need? Let me just go through the entire movie so I can help you understand what happened. I mean, so he retired, and I don't know for sure if all beekeepers have to become literal beekeepers after they retire. Jason Statham's character, Adam, did, and he wanted to be low key, and he needed a place to stay and raise some bees. So, and he said, this is Mrs. Cosby said, hey, he said, you're the only one that's ever taken care of me before. And that he needed that.
I know, but why was he there?
It doesn't matter. It could be, he could have been anywhere.
Good point. Yeah.
It's the same reason why in Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze's character is renting that weird, no air conditioned room above some weird barn overlooking the bad guys.
I know why. But I know why he did that.
No, you don't.
Of course I do.
Because it was
the same reason that he bought a beater car. Because he knew the likelihood was there would be retaliation. He needed to be kind of off the grid. And then he also needed to practice his karate.
His Tai Chi.
To be somewhere, Tai Chi, to be somewhere tranquil. So I knew that. Yeah, I know all about why Swayze picked that spot.
A weak puzzle. It's a weak puzzle.
Okay.
I wish you would have said, no, I don't have any other puzzles.
Yeah. Edit this shit out.
I'll just edit this out. So you didn't have any puzzles. Perfect. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, great. No puzzles. Moving on.
You said you had another puzzle, or was that just a joke?
No, that's it.
All right. Let's get into Popcorn Redemption.
I have exorcised the demons.
All right, I have two that I really enjoyed. One was, did you notice the cameo towards the end at the second, what are we calling it, call center that they go to?
No.
The Terminator exoskeleton is seen in the second call center.
Is it?
As a statue.
I missed that completely.
Oh my gosh, it's huge. It's just a Terminator robe with no skin on, obviously just the endoskeleton.
I'm upset.
And it's just sitting there and it's like, whoa, that is such a sick thing that they would buy because they're just buying dumb crap, and buying an original movie prop from Terminator obviously would be in their layer.
I'm so upset right now. Okay. Well, now I might have to rewatch this fucking movie.
Dude, I'll be watching this again for sure.
Really?
Yeah. And you know when I'm going to be watching it, apart from when I'm sad, is in preparation for the sequel.
All right.
I'll
watch a sequel. I'll watch a sequel.
Okay. Let's review it. When it comes
I'd
out
be into that.
In 2 years, you and I are there.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last redemption is kind of on the same thread of the Beverly Hills Cop quotes and the other movie quotes that are sprinkled in. When Wallace Westwild idly plays the piano at the Danforth Mansion, he plays the same notes that Venkman plays in Dana Barrett's apartment in Ghostbusters.
I love a good ode. Like I love it. The homages are amazing. As long as they homage to something cool.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter that there's no connective tissue there at all, but it's just fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just like the Terminator skeleton that you missed.
Yeah. I love a good homage. And I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. I think overall the kills are fun. And I don't care that they're over the top. That's what I want in this kind of movie. And I feel like because, again, I'm referencing John Wick, because it's not as good as John Wick, I think they're allowed to make these extravagant death scenes because that's what they're about. John Wick is not. John Wick is tactical, surgical. This guy's, I want a spectacle.
I would say that's absolutely one of my redemptions is some of the kill scenes. And then not even the kill scenes, like when he yanks that dude's fingers off, like I was for it, man. I was for it. I was like,
no, he cuts him off with a bandsaw, dude.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like when the fingers came off, I was in on it. And then when he wrapped him up and cranked him down and then just revved the car again, I was for that, dude. Now the special effects were ridiculous. The body, the way it looked as it flew into the water, but it added to it for me. It was so silly looking that I was like, yes, that's probably actually how a body would look, but it doesn't look like it should.
Yeah.
So I loved the brutality, like when the dude gets cut in half on the elevator.
Oh my god!
I'm for it, dog.
Those deaths were
great. I could have used a little more blood in that scene.
Yeah,
but it's a small budget.
Yeah, we're gonna get more blood, more kills next one, so it's fine.
Yes, and there's got to be a number 2. Like there absolutely has to be. Even though I don't feel like I'll ever watch this again, like I would be for that. But sorry, I started to trample all over your redemptions.
No, that was it. That was the last one.
I say all the time, if there's a movie that you can just shut your brain off on, I said it last week, I'm saying it with Redemption, like you have to have these types of movies because the great ones can be exhausting. They really can be exhausting. Now, they're much more lasting. They're much more impactful on your life. The great ones are. But these, like you said it so perfectly, I need a fucking vacation sometimes in a day. Like I just need to go. And so I was down for that. I love Statham. Like he's just such a badass. And there were so many scenes in this where he was such a badass. Do I feel like this fell short as an overall what it could have been? Yes, until I find out what the budget is. Now all of a sudden I'm like, that changed my perspective completely, finding that out last week. So I think for what this is, it's absolutely a hidden gem. I am fearful for Statham's future. I hope that he's able to maintain and not go the way of the dodo, Seagal. But man, I love so much about this movie for as much as I hated a lot of it as well. I hated it for the right reasons and loved it for all the right reasons.
You sounded like a contestant on The Bachelor. Are you here for the right reasons? Is the Beekeeper here for the right reasons?
But I do hope, to be honest with you, if I'm Amazon, I'm creating a Jack Reacher type of Beekeeper.
Yes. I think that's a good segue into my rating.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I love John Wick. I also love this, but maybe not as much. But I also would like to say, please give me 2 more of these and make them also an hour and 45 minutes. I've purchased my stock in the Beekeeper, and
Okay.
this is okay. If John Wick is the Godfather, can I get some bargain basement Godfathers along the way while I'm waiting for the next John Wick? I would like to take in a Beekeeper as I'm waiting for 2 years or 3 years for the next John Wick. This is like a mid-tier appetizer or middle course. I'm just waiting for the main course. And this is a good to bide my time for the next Wick.
Okay.
So my rating, you're going to hate this, is a large bucket.
I don't hate it. I would have hated it if you went golden. Like I probably
almost did.
would have. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Knock that off. Don't gaslight me.
But I also almost went medium.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling because I knew this wasn't a small, but when you told me that budget last week, it almost pushed it to a large bucket for me. And I'm struggling. Even right now, I'm really trying to settle on kind of which one it is. And I think I'm going to settle on, it's a medium bucket with a small pack of peanut M&Ms.
Okay. Yeah. See.
Yeah. You're disappointed.
We're going to get into this in our retrospective that he forced me to do, which I gladly accepted.
Okay.
But
yes,
there are medium buckets that are highly watchable.
Yeah.
And you should take them. You should take it. Like, you know, those restaurants where you go and they say, if you eat this 7 pounds of ice cream, you get it for free.
Yep.
You're not going to finish it, but you want to do it out of the spectacle and the fun of it. And you eat it until you're sick. And then, and you're just like, that was fun. I might not do that ever again, but I had a great time, and we laughed a ton while we were getting bloated on ice cream, you know?
Yes.
So that's what this is.
This is a highly recommended medium bucket for me.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm giving this a large bucket for solid reasons that I've given throughout the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with your large bucket.
Thank you.
Like if this was a show that, you know, occasionally had outside of your wife, she's done a couple of like bachelorette things, but this tailors to men. Like, let's just be honest, right?
Yes.
We tailor to men. And so I don't disagree with the large bucket on this. I just couldn't get there, but I'm much harder than you are.
You are. And you kind of take craps all over me, but that's why I invite you back. It's challenging.
Well, look, okay, I can't be the only one that is kind of like, whoa.
Dr. Dare hates the fact that he's so analytical about my reviews and my ratings when he's like, you can't give this a this and you can't give that a this. And I said, yes, I can. This is my show. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I don't have a producer.
I agree there.
I do have an HR lady, which we've encountered a couple of times in the show.
Yeah.
But we've placated her. She's okay. Sharon's not coming in, so we're fine. But listen.
That's correct.
So, and I feel like it's going to be some of the best content of us going through my catalog.
I really feel like that is. And if we do chop that up, I don't know how we could make it happen or if it would be good, but I would love, like if we do it a 3 episode, I would love to have Dr. Dare on one of those with me.
Ooh, I don't know how my setup, I don't know if I can get two people on the same call. Maybe I can. All right. Is there anything else we need to say about Beekeeper?
No, I think we said it. I think we nailed this one. I think this is an absolute banger. I'm excited to listen to it again. Like I said, medium, but highly recommended.
I love it. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm with you always. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Just like Sacklunch said last week, share it. Please. It helps us out. And if you made it this far, go give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I command thee. As always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my special guest. I didn't know honey was flammable. Flammable? I just said flammable. I just screwed up my own joke. I didn't know honey was flammable. Sacklunch.
Wait, is honey flammable?
Yeah, that scene where that weird lady comes to kill him at the gas station and he throws a jar of honey at her face and then he lights her on fire. That's not gas. That's the honey.
It is?
Honey is flammable.
I think that's the gas.
I mean, there is gas there, but they actually reference how honey is flammable in the movie.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. I just learned something, so that's amazing. Thank you. But as always, I love doing this with you on so many different levels. You kind of said last week about how your early catalog is there's been a lot of improvements, but I'll tell you, I think you're amazing at this. Like, just the way that you put it all together, I think you're amazing at this. And so whether you came a long way from the early ones or not, I can tell you, I am entertained, my man.
Well, thank you. And I do think the evolution of the show has gotten into a nice sweet spot that I really enjoy. And it's come a long way, mainly because of feedback from the listeners and my close friends who listen and everyone who participates. And I've gotten some really bad feedback, but I've also gotten a lot of really good, interesting ideas that have kind of formed what it is today, and I really like where it's at. So thank you.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you as well.
All right. Remember, when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out. But always bring the popcorn with a little bit of honey. We'll see you guys next time.